You've got mail.
Do you remember the 90s?
Come on, Uncle Phil, this is the 90s, man.
Man, it's the 90s. It's hammer time. Come on.
It's the 90s, remember? Microchips, microwaves, faxes, airphones.
Ma, it's the 90s. You can call it what it is.
Yada, yada, yada.
I can be anything I want to be. It's the 90s.
What, are you nuts? This is the 90s. We're gonna sue you.
Wake up and smell the 90s.
I had my first cigarette when I was 13. When I found out how bad it was, I tried to quit. But I couldn't. They say nicotine isn't addictive. How can they say that?
What do you think we're talking about today?
Cancer in the 90s. No, cancer's every decade. We just sometimes ignored it or not. No, I'm going to say, is this PSAs?
No.
No. Okay.
You're closer with the cancer, though cancer is not the correct answer.
Oh my Lord. Okay. I was going
Do you recognize the audio from that clip?
No. I just thought it was a PSA of some sort.
Of what sort?
Smoking.
Uh-huh.
So smoking in the 90s?
Yeah.
Wow.
Smoking in the 90s.
Man, AIDS, now smoking. Bring it.
Don't worry, this is much cooler than AIDS. Except that this woman, let me describe the clip that I got to watch that you only heard. It was a woman with a trach, so a hole in her throat, talking through it. And then
with one of those like voice things or something. Or no, she just presses against it. Right?
It was just open.
That's not a kazoo. That's a totally different sound, yeah.
And then she took a hit from her cigarette from her neck.
Man. Okay, I didn't get the visual on this, folks. I just heard the audio just like you.
Yeah, we'll include that in on Instagram or something.
Smoking in the 90s. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's light it up.
Well, what do you think about smoking in the 90s?
I never smoked.
Me neither.
I've
never had a cigarette.
Yeah, your anyone in your family, did they ever smoke?
Nope.
Yeah, my father smoked, but I would never know it. He was a secret smoker. He smoked in private, only in his car. So
yeah, smoking was way more prevalent in the 90s than it is now, like dramatically so. It's now an inconvenience to smoke. If you are a smoker now, you have to go to designated areas, you have to be outside, there's laws. Back then it was like, hey, I'm directing a newscast. I have my ashtray right beside me. These are just stories from our work.
Doctors are lighting up while they are giving you your diagnosis.
Exactly. And like encouraging you to have or at least, the commercials would have us believe that doctors were encouraging you to have a cigarette to relieve stress or lose weight.
Oh man, I can't wait to get into this. I can already think of some of the topics that I could ruin. So let's go.
You know what? This is not a chronological episode. So we can just jump in on any element that we would like to talk about. I certainly have a list, but what is your first thought when it comes to smoking in the 90s?
Well, smoking in the 90s, I'm from the South. So are we including tobacco-related products like dip?
If you want to.
Yeah, because they were nicotine products as well that were sold by the tobacco companies. And so since I'm a Southern boy, we always had the guys that would dip. They would have chewing tobacco and they would put it in like a pouch or put it and stuff it in the front of their lip. And they'd just sit there and juice it up and just be spitting out tobacco saliva in the cans.
My only experience of that or understanding of that is like baseball players.
Chewing tobacco?
Tobacco, man.
What do you do with it? You're killing me, Smalls. Chew it, of course.
You?
Yes. Yeah, sure, man. All the pros do. Yeah. Gives you tons of energy, huh? Let's dip. Let's dip. Guys.
You want to hear something really disgusting?
Yes.
And this is something that happened quite a bit. So the ashtrays in the real world, when you don't have one available, is a what?
Cup of coffee?
Soda can.
Oh, soda can.
People would have soda cans. And so you would be out somewhere, and this has happened to me, and I've seen it happen to other people. People would be ashing or dipping, spitting tobacco, basically using their Coca-Cola can as a spittoon, and someone would grab the wrong can and drink their dip water. Their dip saliva, or you get buds and ashes in your mouth.
That's good. We can stop. No. This is horrifying. This is so gross.
This is why it all ended, folks. Incidents like this. Just like everything else, there was a lot of deregulation. And so they were able in the 80s to start advertising on everything. I remember as a child seeing billboards, even ads on television. Marlboro Man.
Camel, the cartoon camel.
Oh my God. Yeah. Joe.
Joe, yeah.
He was Joe. They had
advertising to the children.
I could go on forever about Joe Camel. Joe Camel
that's similar in concept to what's the electronic thing that we do now?
Oh, vaping.
Vaping, where they do like fruit flavors. And now a lot of places you can't sell fruit flavors because it's too much of an interest for the children.
Well, you know, the thing with Joe is that Joe Camel, they did not have flavored cigarettes. They were actually not bad tobacco. They were just like regular.
Did you just say tobacco?
Tobacco, yeah. Did I mention I'm from the South? Tobacco-related products, cigarettes and tobacco-related products. But no, Joe Camel, he was a cartoon mascot and was intentionally trying to appeal to children.
Yeah.
But also, you know the other controversy about him, right?
Because he was hot.
Well, yeah, no, he was super hot. If you look at it, he was like anthropomorphized. They made him an everyman.
Most interesting man alive.
Yeah, he had, no joke, every single one.
He had a leather jacket on, right?
He had a leather jacket. He had a lot of different personas. During the Miami Vice era, he wore like the Miami Vice jacket, like the pink jacket. He had the leather biker persona.
Like Indiana Jones.
He also had the James Bond worldly white tuxedo. Holding the martini kind of thing.
And like sunglasses.
Okay, so I know we're kind of getting off topic, but I have to tell you, so you don't know the main controversy about Joe Camel.
I don't remember it if I knew.
His nose is a giant penis.
He doesn't even look like a fucking camel. He looks so much like a cock. Because you know how it's usually subliminal?
Yeah.
Where you have to find the cock, right? This character, you have to find the goddamn camel.
Speaking of appealing to children.
Oh, I will not do this. I cannot. Oh, what a foul way for a bird to die. I don't want to get big cancer. No, my lungs are blackened.
Here we go again. Cut. Roll it back. What are you doing? Daniel, that line is not in the script. Why did you add it?
Well, I thought I should comment on the situation.
What situation?
The fact that Pudgy the Parrot has a cigarette shoved into his mouth is morally irresponsible.
This is a cartoon, okay? This is not a friggin' Oprah Winfrey special.
Lou, millions of kids see this cartoon. It's like sending each one of them a packet of cigarettes and saying, light up.
You can't put words in Pudgy's mouth if his mouth isn't moving.
What's voiceover? It's an interior monologue.
Did your high school have a smoking section?
Our high school had a cigarette machine.
Really? That we did not have.
1992, folks.
1992, you had
we had a smoking section, which was...
Was it indoors or outdoors?
It was outdoors.
Okay.
And also the teachers had their own designated area, but the teachers and the students would share the area from time to time. So there would be teachers and students smoking together on
like
property.
14, 15-year-olds just chilling with their 50-year-old algebra teachers lighting up a cigarette.
So in
our
classes. So even in 1992, cigarette machines didn't exist even then. But our school was very old, and they still had a stocked cigarette machine in the gym.
Can you explain what a cigarette machine is to the children who are blown away by the fact that could ever have existed?
Yeah, it's just a machine that
like a soda machine.
It's like a soda machine, but and it has a window on the front, and it shows the cigarette packets, and they had knobs that you would pull, not unlike a knob that you would pull on a pinball machine that you'd pull out that was on like a spring, and you put in your quarters, and then you pulled the lever and out popped slid out a pack of cigarettes, and anyone could buy them. That would the reason why they got rid of them is because anybody could get them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's also the stories of kids. My mom's sick, and I need to get her a pack.
My mom sent me to go get a pack of smokes.
Yeah. Or the other trope of my dad went to go get a cigarette, a pack of cigarettes 3 years ago and never came back.
Insert the Nelson Muntz clip from The Simpsons.
Exactly that. Yeah, my high school had a smoking section as well outside. But I do remember a time when you could smoke, I think earlier than that, because we were in high school. I know you say 92, but we were really in high school in the mid to later 90s. So you couldn't smoke indoors, but you could smoke indoors in restaurants for a really long time. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was still, I don't know, do you know if it was illegal? It was a state by state thing.
I think it was territory by territory. I'm from a country that doesn't have states, so.
Province to province.
Province to province, yeah.
But we didn't.
So the regulations are not going to be like crystal clear here when we talk about like when regulations came into place, because they were sort of territory by territory.
We didn't eat out a lot, so I don't really know as a kid like what the restaurant culture was or when that stopped. I know that it was already a faux pas when I had my own agency around like college years, like 98
Oh yeah,
or
no,
so.
it was done by college.
Yeah.
But I remember going specifically to Swiss Chalet in Canada. When you were greeted, they would ask you smoking or non-smoking, and you would choose. They weren't like that separate.
There was no partition.
There was like fake plants between the sections, but there was nothing keeping the air from moving around in the restaurants.
How fancy mine restaurants were is they had ashtrays that were built into the tables.
Nice. Where else were ashtrays prevalent that even to this day we would notice, but they are not in use?
Bowling alleys.
Bowling alleys. I never thought about.
100%. If you
zero
go
time
to
in
old bowling alleys, they'd have them built into the score tables.
I was thinking more along the lines of like airplanes. Because some of the airplanes that we fly in are decades old. And I mean, there's still signs that, right beside where it says buckle your seatbelt, it says no smoking.
They probably phased them out, but I very much remember, because I flew quite a bit when I was younger. They would have the
Speaking of fancy,
they'd have the little ashtrays.
I guess your parents spent money on flights.
It used to cost a nickel a flight back in my day compared to today. But in the armrest, at the end of the armrest, they'd have a little metal rectangle that you'd pop, and it would open up, and you just ash right into it.
You used to be able to smoke inside airplanes. How messed up is that? I don't remember ever. So I only flew like once in like the late 80s, and then not until like late high school. And by that point there was no so I've never been on an airplane where there was smoking.
I have.
That must have been crazy.
Well, I was 3.
This warning light will now stay on permanently on virtually all 17,000 domestic flights a day in the United States. Only the handful of flights lasting more than 6 hours will allow cigarette smoking after today. Most passengers say they can now breathe easier.
I think it's just much cleaner, healthier, safer.
I think it's great.
The tobacco industry insists that the ban is unnecessary and discriminatory, and today some smoking passengers were fuming.
If I choose to smoke, that's my right.
I almost drove.
So apparently there was like a transition period where like if the flight was 2 hours, you couldn't smoke. But if it was 6 hours, you could smoke because, your poor health, if you went into withdrawal, would be a problem.
They might try to reach for the escape hatch or something. I mean,
seriously. Yeah, so 1994, Delta was the first U.S. airline to ban smoking on all worldwide flights.
Bravo.
Here's another clip about flying.
Well, flying on airplanes back then, 25 years ago, was disgusting, quite frankly. It was amazing because as soon as the light would go off saying no smoking, even if you were in the front of the airplane, you would immediately smell the tobacco smoke. And of course, the fact that you can smell it means you're breathing it. So that was a bad time, and it's ridiculous now, and I often make the point that even addicted smokers wouldn't begin to think about persuading to be smoking on airplanes anymore.
We don't notice it as much because I think cars get replaced more often than airplanes, but all cars used to have ashtrays in like the center, on the armrests, in the back where the children sit.
They'd also have the lighters.
Yes.
You would have the coiled lighters that you'd press in, and they would the element would heat up, and you'd hear it pop out like a toaster, and then you'd pick it up and light it.
You'd light it,
yeah.
And then the transition period of that, we use those for electronics.
It's true, yeah, because it was just electric. So that's when you would plug in your adapters for things, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of lighters, we just finished watching not a 90s movie, a late 80s movie, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh, we did.
And at the end of the film, all of these high school students watching this history performance had lighters.
And they were doing an encore.
Basically, yeah.
And our daughter was like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah, what is that? And that is the concept of literally everybody having lighters on them at all times. High school students. And they would like flip them on and like, you know, wave with them to
like concerts.
Yeah, it's similar to like applause or snapping at poetry jam. I don't know.
Yeah. It's cool, Daddy-O. But
people just used to carry around lighters.
No, but then we explained to her it's the equivalent of people holding up their cell phones because that's the new version of it.
It's the light, effectively.
It's the lame version.
It is the lame version.
It's not nearly as dangerous.
Yeah. But also, airplanes, people used to be allowed to just carry lighters onto airplanes.
True.
You could light shit on fire.
Yeah.
In an airplane.
I remember it not being uncommon. Like you said, high schoolers all had lighters.
Yeah.
But just having lighters and just like using them like fidget toys. They just flick it on and off.
Yeah.
And some of them would be holding their hand over a little too long. And then we backed away from that kid.
Yeah, those kids would have a diagnosis at this point.
But what did you think of kids that smoked in high school?
I thought it was kind of lame.
Yeah.
I come from a family that doesn't smoke. I think I have some extended family that I don't see and minimal at best. It's just not a part of the culture that I grew up in. And of course we had like school trying to teach us don't smoke. And so me being very much the rule follower that I was as a child, it wasn't, I was like, well, no, I understand the facts. The facts are that this is bad and I can't do this. That would make me bad. Ontario banned smoking in public spaces and workplaces in 2006 with the passing of the Smoke-Free Ontario Act. And it was the first territory to outlaw the sale of tobacco in pharmacies in 1994.
I mean, okay.
Yeah. Like, you can't get cigarettes in pharmacies. Where can you even get cigarettes these days?
Convenience stores.
Convenience stores. Grocery stores still?
Some grocery stores have them, yeah.
I would see this in media and I would not understand it. What is the deal with going to Indian reservations for cigarettes? Do you know?
What I am guessing is reservations are land and trust, and they are not governed by American laws.
So it's probably a tax thing, so they can sell them cheaper, right?
Well, it's definitely probably cheaper.
Do you remember this?
Every year I try to quit smoking cold turkey, but this year is my year. I'm committed. I'm psyched. And I have help, Nicorette gum, to help control my cravings. It's not like the patch. Nicorette lets me decide how much nicotine to use and when to use it, so I can stop smoking now.
What was that?
That was nicotine or Nicorette gum, right?
Yeah.
Nicorette gum. So it is a gum that has nicotine in it, and it would allow you to wean it off when they had cravings for it.
So towards the end of the 90s, there was sort of peer pressure against it. At that point, we knew the science, and like secondhand smoke was definitely a taboo. And so here is a nice character reference about this idea.
Chandler, what are you doing?
Chandler?
Oh, my God.
You're smoking again?
Well, actually, yesterday I was smoking again. Today I'm smoking still.
Why would you start again after chewing all that quitting gum?
I'm telling you, this is just like my parents' divorce, which is when I started smoking in the first place.
Weren't you 9?
Yeah? I'm telling you something, that first smoke after nap time.
One of the things when we were dating that we bonded on early was, of course, movies.
Mm-hmm.
And movies are full of symbolism.
Very true.
Cigarettes are symbolic for a lot of different sort of characteristics of people. Shall we list some so that the youngins can understand their film symbolism? And this doesn't have to be just 90s films. This can be just film history.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, I mean, first, cool. You're cool. If you're a cigarette, you don't like you're carefree, you don't care, you're kind of aloof. Or the after sex cigarettes.
I got one.
Okay.
What about the cool smoke rings?
That means that you're talented with your tongue.
There you go.
Right?
It's all pretty sexual.
It's a lot of sexual stuff, yeah.
And so if you listen to one of our previous episodes, Bill Clinton, there was a whole thing where he was talking to him about Monica Lewinsky and showing a cigar and saying, "What would you do to this cigar?"
If Monica Lewinsky says that you used a cigar as a sexual aid with her in the Oval Office area, would she be lying? Yes, no, or won't answer.
I will revert to my former statement.
Then there's the idea of, can I bum a smoke to create familiarity and start up a conversation?
Yeah.
Right? Villains sometimes smoked.
That was very true.
To show their evilness, right? Ooh, what about putting cigarettes out on somebody's skin?
Ooh, that's a big bad guy thing, but that's a movie thing.
Yeah.
Or flicking the cigarette, you know, or flicking the cigarette and lighting the fire. Remember, they'd always dump gasoline on people, and you'd flick the cigarette.
And you're so cool,
poof.
you just throw the cigarette at it. Yep. Chain smoking as a sign of stress.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So smoking is cool, but also trying to look cool, especially in teenage kind of movies. You smoke to try and look cool or to try and fit in. Oral fixations.
It's inherently a phallic, if not sexual, oral fixation.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then the last one that I have is blowing smoke into somebody's face, as a sign of disrespect, or as a sign of dismissal, or that sort of thing. So this is one of my favorite clips from a very 90s Gen X film.
One of these mornings, I'm going to wake up before noon and...
Yeah, right.
I'm going to turn on the TV, and there Brian Gumble will be, and he'll say, "Today we have with us the Pulitzer Prize-winning documentarian Lelena Pierce." Lelena, after your first film, Why Barbie is Bad, you seem to have forgotten all about your best friend, Troy Dyer.
Troy who? What was that name again? Oh, right through the heart.
I'll probably be working at the Whole Foods, playing warehouses, hanging around places like the Radio Shack, screaming that I used to know you, and you'll be there, and the lights, and you'll be all beautiful and shit.
Oh, Troy, no. That'll never happen. They would never hire you at Whole Foods.
You see, Lainey, this is all we need. A couple of smokes, a cup of coffee, and a little bit of conversation. You and me and $5.
$5.
I was going to say $5 for 2 cups of coffee and a pack of smokes. Whoa.
Reality Bites, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, Reality Bites. Ethan Hawke was one of the great smokers of the 90s.
Yes.
I remember, too, in about the same time after that, one of my favorite films, Before Sunrise, there's a lot of smoking in that, and obviously he has a French counterpart in that one as well. So it's even more sexy.
Yes.
And acceptable.
We could have an entire additional episode about French smoking in films in the 90s. There's so much of it. Now, this obviously I planned, so I was able to remember things and look into things. Do you, off the top of your head, have any favorite smoking movie sequences?
Hayao Miyazaki has a film called Porco Rosa, which is about a flying ace from the 30s in the Adriatic, and the entire film is all Humphrey Bogart smoking and this and that. And it's a 90s film. It's not set in the 90s.
It's not Humphrey Bogart. It's a pig.
It's a
who
pig.
appears like Humphrey Bogart
but
and smoking.
It was one of the few times I watched and just said, man, I can understand why people love cigarettes.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it too. I don't want this podcast to be an encouragement of cigarettes, but I understand the idea of things are stressful. I am going to remove myself from this situation and go away from people and stand outside and breathe deeply, something that is hurting me actively. But it's kind of like a meditation.
It is. It's exactly the same idea of meditation. It's just stopping and focusing on
Yeah.
something, especially your breathing. But unfortunately, that breathing isn't fresh Himalayan air.
It's not.
It's
the opposite of that.
It's the opposite of
Yeah.
that.
But do you remember that people would take smoke breaks? Like
I completely. I remember
there's only one
as a
person I
person
know.
who didn't smoke. I
Yeah.
was the one who got screwed because
Yeah.
I had to cover for the people that were taking smoke breaks, and they could take 15. I remember they had like
Multiple times a day.
multiple times a day, 15-minute smoke breaks.
It's
it was
crazy.
completely unfair.
It was so unfair. So I don't really have anything else to say. I have one last clip though.
You're spending what? 20, maybe $30 a week on your cigarettes?
Yeah.
40. 53. $53 a week on cigarettes. Come on, would you give somebody that much money each week to kill you? Because that's what you're doing now by paying for this so-called privilege to smoke.
Hey man, we gotta croak sometime.
It's that kind of mentality that allows the cancer-producing industry to thrive. Of course we're all gonna die someday. But do we have to pay for it?
Who is that?
I don't know the actor, but that's from Clerks.
Oh, that's from Clerks. Okay, that's
Yeah.
Dante.
Is
That's
it? Yeah, I don't
Dante
know.
from Clerks. That's why I remember that.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. No, so the thing I was trying to remember as you
Yay.
were looking at me sadly as I
Forgot.
podcasts and everything, I
Yeah.
forgot. But the thing that I wanted to bring up was that very small window where smoking became cool again, but it was cigars and it was cigar bars.
That's right.
At the same time with the swing dancing craze and all
It's
that. But
true.
cigar bars, every town was popping up with a cigar bar.
It's true. And I will fully admit, I have never had a cigarette in my life. Not ever once a cigarette. I've smoked like 6 or 7 cigars.
Oh, I gave into it too because
Yeah.
it was basically like a speakeasy.
Yeah. I never went to a place, like, I never went to a cigar bar, but I was offered a cigar a couple times. And I was like, yeah, I'm in my early 20s. I'm super cool. And I did smoke a couple cigars. And this was obviously 2007. You had Cuban cigars at our wedding.
I did.
Yeah, for your groomsmen, because it was in Canada,
Yes.
and you can get Cuban cigars in Canada.
Yeah, I didn't give a damn about smoking, but I have pictures of my groomsmen smoking Cuban cigars.
And you guys looked really cool, especially your nephew who was like 12.
Exactly. Yeah, this was a lot of great memories.
Very glamorous. This was a very glamorous episode.
Very glamorous episode. I am so glad we have moved on as a society.
It's true. I feel like I need to take a shower though, and like put my clothes into the laundry immediately.
Just the memories of it is starting to bring back smoky clothes and
100% that.
drinking Coke bottles filled with
Blah.
ashes.
Blah.
On that note, this is Dave.
And Cheryl.
And the 90s. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, kids.
Smoking ain't hip. In fact, it's a drag. Sucking it in, just not my bag.
Got a favorite 90s moment or topic you want us to dive into? We'd love to hear about it. If you think we got everything wrong, we'd love to hear about that too. Drop us an email at andthe90spod@gmail.com, link in the episode description, and you can be damn sure that we'll read your comments on the show. Also, if you're digging the show, please rate, comment, subscribe, and tell everyone you know to check us out. It really does make a difference. Till next time, remember, we're nostalgia for the olds and education for the youths.
Whatever you're into, smoking's out.